right. Welcome back.
Here we are.
Here with the boys.
So clean.
Yeah. Yeah. So clean.
Yeah, that was a smoother
Yeah.
intro process for us. You guys don't know
Yeah.
the struggles we go through sometimes. But...
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we have a very intricate process for making sure that we're all synced up and making sure we sound nice and crisp. So, yeah, sometimes that takes like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And today that only took like 2.5 minutes. So, yeah, we're getting better.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's taken like an hour or more.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day, it actually did used to take us an hour.
True. And this is like what, the 8th go around, so that's pretty good to finally get it right.
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
better. Practice makes perfect. Phrase of the day.
Oh, yeah. So what's going on with you guys? Another week
Another week.
gone.
Man, this has been a crazy week for me. I think we're gonna try and like buy a house. Like I didn't know we were gonna buy a house like literally like less than a week ago, but like now all of a sudden I'm pretty sure we're buying a house. Like
Hey.
yeah, so that happened quick, but I've definitely never done that before. Millennial first time home buyer. I feel like there's not a lot of us. Like most people I know my age still don't own a home. Like
Yeah.
which is interesting. But yeah, I understand why as well, because like they like we went to a bank and like got like asked them if we can get a loan, and then it was like, okay, yeah, what's your info? Like how much you make, how much is in your bank account, what's your credit? And they're just like, all right, let's calculate all this up and what your monthly payment would be for the loan you want. And it's like, and it's gonna be, dude, the number was like, it was like like $2,500 basically, or something like that, a month. Like, I mean, yeah, $2,500. I don't know, like maybe some people, like depending on where you live, you hear that number and like that's nothing. Like that's how much you have to pay for a mortgage or something. But like, I remember, like, I'm pretty sure my parents' house in Brown Deer is like nicer than the one that we're getting. And I could have swore I remember them saying that their mortgage is only like $1,400. Like how?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Well, it's
insane.
just it's when they bought. Like, yeah, I'm sure everyone listening to this knows that the housing market right now is pretty crazy. Like, it's even come down a little bit, and it's still like absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you're saying that like you gave them all the information and they told you like this would be your monthly payment. So like, did they also ask you like how much house, like what was your budget for a house, or did they? Because when we looked for a house, we they asked us like the opposite way. Basically, they were like how much, like they gave us all the information and said like here we need to gather all this from you guys, but then they asked like how much do you want to pay a month? So we actually like backed into a house price that way. So
Interesting. See, I guess we never actually looked for a house. Like literally, like our landlord was just like doing some work at our house that we rent from, and he was like, all right, well, I gotta get out of here. I was like talking to him at the end. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I got a showing at another house. I'm like, oh, you got another house you're renting out? He's like, oh no, I'm not renting this one. I'm trying to sell it. And then he like jokingly was like, wow, you trying to buy it? I'm just like, maybe. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, yeah, like if you're serious, then like you can come on over and while I'm doing the showing, just check it out. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he didn't think we were serious or anything. And then like sure enough, we like showed up, and yeah, I mean, and then we showed up. He was like, yeah, I mean, like if you guys are serious about this, you can call the bank. And he's like, I know this lady who works there that I've been dealing with, like she's working right now. You can call her. It's for Tri-City, which is a bank I've used in the past, like a local bank here in Wisconsin. And I know they're a decent bank, so I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. In fact, I think my parents have their mortgage with them as well. So I'm like, okay, yeah. When I heard that, it's like, yeah, let's talk to this banker or whatever. So yeah, she just asked us some questions over the phone. Like, she's like, all right, I'll call you back in like 30 minutes. Then,
Okay.
yeah, 30 minutes later, she's like, in order for you to buy this house with the information you gave us, yeah, and then she gave us the price. So yeah, we never got to look for a house. Like, it was just kind of
that makes sense.
the opportunity was like thrust upon us essentially.
So, do you mind me asking if that's like a 30-year
Yeah,
loan?
yep. A 30-year fixed rate. I
Wow.
think that's the only one we can get approved for because like our credit is like good, but you apparently you need like really good credit for like any other types of loans, except for the FHA loan. But we
Yeah.
didn't want to do that because our monthly payment would be even higher for a first-time home buyer loan because you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
less of a down payment. So
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, you need good credit and or like a big chunky down payment for like 15 years
yeah,
usually.
goddamn, yeah. Like literally, what we're paying in rent. Yeah, our monthly payment is doubling. Like we pay like 1,200 in rent, and then if we pay like 24 to 2,500 in mortgage and taxes, and insurance, all that stuff. Like that's like I understand why millennials aren't buying houses. like like this is taking two incomes. Like both me and my wife have uh average paying like American household jobs essentially. like nothing too crazy, but like both of us together, we make a decent amount of money. At least what I would have considered a decent amount of money pre 2020 and pre inflation. But yeah, that's apparently nothing in the eyes of the housing market. Like you have to be rich to get a house, basically.
So are
Yeah.
you getting like the same amount of space?
It's like it's the same. Yeah, it's the same amount of space. Like it's not even an upgrade. Like the location is better. It's like, but the size is the exact same.
So, okay, so now I'm curious. So, if you're not getting an upgrade and you're gonna have to pay more, like what is it about the house that would make you move there at all? Like just is it just the fact that you own it?
Well, the landlord was like, "I'll give you $15,000." Basically, he's like he was like, "I'll pay for the down payment, which is $15,000." He's like, "All you have to do is just get approved for the loan. I'll take care of the rest, down payment and closing costs." I'm just like, "Holy shit!" Like, and meanwhile, like we were looking around like on Zillow, and like that means like essentially like he's like bringing the cost of the house down $15,000. It's the same thing
Right.
essentially, and like for the house size, the location, literally anywhere near that location, like and the size of the house and like how many bedrooms and bathrooms we wanted, there's nothing that even comes close to the price of what he's offering us. So like because of that, we're just like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. Like, I feel like in this market, we're never gonna get someone to come down $15,000 from their asking price. Essentially, like, if anything, the opposite's gonna happen. So,
Yeah. So, and I mean, you've rented from him for a while now, so you feel like you can trust him and everything.
right, yeah, it's been like 6 years. And yeah, I feel like that's also why he offered it to us. Like, he's like, you know what? Yeah, he's like, I was gonna sell it to just like any old body, but he's like, it'd be nice if like you lived here, then I could be like, I don't know. There's just like something about selling houses. Like when you sell your house, like you don't want some asshole to move into like the house you were just in or whatever. Like I don't know why, but
Really?
like people like being able to sell their house to someone they like. Like
Seriously? Dude, I don't care who moves here after I leave.
you don't care.
Fuck this place.
You don't care if Adolf Hitler himself moved it.
As long as you can pay, I don't give a fuck.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I guess it's just some people
No, but I
sentimental
can I
value,
can
I
definitely
suppose.
yeah, I can definitely see the sentimental value, especially like if you have like had the house for a while, like if you like if I don't know if your landlord, but maybe he put work into it himself, so
He
I could
did,
see him like not wanting that work to go to someone who's just gonna trash it. That makes
right?
sense.
There's like, oh, we're just gonna tear this down as soon as we buy it. Like,
Right,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. I can't wait to fuck all this up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, great. Yeah, whatever it is, I don't care what you did to it. I'm tearing it all down. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little demoralizing. I could see.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, it's funny you say that because maybe I'm starting to have some type of sentimental value for this house. Because we did our like I don't know if you've ever like seen the movies, or maybe you guys did this yourself, but to me, this was always like a suburban pipe dream of like we marked off Mila's like height on the
Ah,
like the beam,
Oh
which
yeah.
I've always seen in movies, and I didn't realize that people actually did that. And Danielle the other day was just like, "Yeah, we should do that," and I was like, "Yeah, I guess we could just write on the wall if we want."
Yeah, you own it.
Yeah, so yeah, we did that and like put the date on it, and it just looks like she's so tall. So yeah, I definitely have some like sentimental value for that piece of wood, because like
yeah.
we'll be able to like obviously mark it and see if especially if we live here for a while, how she grows. So yeah, I'm not usually sentimental about things, but I get that. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll find out myself. Like, as far as the house I'm renting, I feel like I could care less, obviously, who comes through
True.
here. But yeah, I feel like if I owned it and I like did work to it, yeah, that would make a difference.
That's a big step though, like
Yeah,
home
so
ownership.
yeah,
Yeah.
busy with doing like getting all these like financial things together, and man, I feel like I've been talking to people on the phone about this like constantly, like signing papers on papers and reading contracts. Yeah, it's been a blast.
Adulthood.
True adulting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, you'll really feel like a homeowner when the first major thing breaks and there's no one to call to pay for it.
Yeah, right. Hey, yeah, they have a like. So, what do I do exactly?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'll just live with it.
Yeah. We had a plumber here twice this week already, and he fixed like a small leak that was sort of like dripping from our ceiling at the bottom of our stairs. And Danielle was asking him like, "What do you recommend to like cover it up?" And he gave like pretty normal suggestions, like you could put like a grate like an access panel there, so like in case you have to get back in there, you can. But he's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is an old house. You're probably gonna be back in there. like
Aw.
like he's already telling us that we're gonna spend more money.
Damn,
So yeah, I mean, ugh,
yeah, that money
what
pit.
a yeah, the big good old money pit. But congratulations, man. I couldn't be happy for you.
No, man,
Couldn't be happier.
as fast as house prices are rising, the money pit pays for itself.
Yeah,
I hope you're right.
it
I
seems like
mean,
it's a really good deal, and like it checks all the boxes, and the fact that you know the guy and can trust him. I feel like that would that would make me want to buy it too. So
yeah, I feel like every morning I've woken up after like trying, I'm like, okay, tonight I'm gonna sleep on it and like see how I feel in the morning. Every morning when I wake up, I'm just like, I can't think of like why I wouldn't do this. Essentially, like the only reason I wouldn't want to buy it is only because of the housing market itself. Like,
hmm.
but like I need a house, so like
Well, I was
it's
gonna
not.
ask you that. Like, I was gonna ask you, like, you're not worried at all about the prices, like the housing prices coming back down after you buy. Like,
Well, I am worried about that, and I'm I'm actually almost kind of like suspecting that because we actually also want to sell it like within 5 years, basically, and then move to like our actual dream neighborhood, which is not this neighborhood. But this is just an opportunity for us to start building equity instead of paying rent, and then
Hmm.
also apparently like having a mortgage builds your credit faster than like any other thing, basically. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to use this to kind of put ourselves in a somewhat better situation rather than staying in the same situation right now, which is just renting.
gotcha.
But yeah, that's basically it. My dad, he suggested that we like do some sort of like improvements to the house so that way we can kind of guarantee that we can sell it for more than we got it for, which isn't a
If you
bad
can,
idea, but I just
yeah, if you could do it yourself, then yeah,
yeah, I don't know any of that stuff though. Like, I'm not a construction worker. Like, I can install like cameras and like security, which honestly that might be worth like a little bit of something. Like, if you buy a house with like a fully brand new security system, like fully functional, like ready to go. I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. It's like
yeah.
worth maybe like 1,000 or two or so, but like. Yeah, he's talking about building like extending the kitchen. I'm like, so I'd have to build like a floor, like more
Yeah.
walls
Yeah.
and like more of a roof. Like,
Yeah, my dad does that kind of stuff.
Yeah, same with my dad. It's just like that's not his profession. He just does it,
Yeah.
like on his house, basically. It's like wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that used to be my dad's profession, but it hasn't been for a very long time. And like that actually happened, what you're explaining. Like I came back from college one day to the Brown Deer house, and like literally the front of the house was gone. Like there was just plastic there. And
Holy shit!
they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're extending the kitchen."
And that house was like already newish. Like it was
Oh
like a
yeah.
fairly new house. That's crazy, but
No,
that's
no, no. It
smart.
was no, it was new because he had done all that. Like the house didn't look like that when he bought it.
Oh, really? But no, that
Yeah.
house, like the neighborhood you lived in, I'm pretty sure had only just been built like
No, yeah,
10
yeah. The
years
house
before
itself
you
was
lived there.
new.
Oh,
Sure, yeah.
okay.
The house itself was new, but like what everything you saw inside of it wasn't there before.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He had like moved walls and shit, and
That's
it was yeah,
crazy. Wow.
That
yeah,
is crazy.
That's like
yeah.
so
I
I
thought
I
you,
ambitious.
think
I thought it
maybe
just
there's
came
like a
like that.
point. No, yeah. There's no way. No.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe there's a point where all like old men just sort of hit this stride where they're just like, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm just gonna break down some walls.
I mean, like, I guess, like, now that I'm starting to own a house, I feel like I can somewhat understand because, like, by doing that, you're making yourself thousands of dollars. And, like,
Yeah.
you get to, like, basically work under your own terms, like, so it's like a little side hustle at home, and you get to, like, do it however you want.
Yeah, but if you fuck it up, like, man.
Yeah, if you fuck it up, then like that's gonna suck. But I feel like worst case scenario, you would just have to like call in like a professional after you did like 75% of the work, and then the professional's just gonna have to come like fix up your fuck ups or whatever.
If it's a wall, worst case scenario is you die, like it falls on you and you're dead. Like
Oh, okay, I
there's no
mean,
one left to call.
yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, don't let a wall fall on you.
Yeah, if you're not sure that you can make sure that you won't die, just call a professional.
Yeah, that's true. Like if it's if you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's gonna smush you or something, or you need like heavy machinery, like a crane, like
Yeah.
don't even bother.
If it was something easy like putting up like laying tile or putting up drywall, those are two things I am confident that I can do. Like if I had the materials for sure, I know I can do that. Everything else gets a little bit murky. Like anytime I see electrical wires, I'm like, no, I'm not touching any of that.
Yeah, that's smart. Electrical, especially, like you can really do some like crazy things with
You can fuck yourself up.
that.
Yeah, I'm too scared.
So
If you
even
can do,
after,
Go ahead.
sorry. So even after you left your previous home that you guys put a lot of work into, like you were just like, fuck it, like who cares?
Oh, even more so because of the
Okay.
work. Yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, the work itself, like I was like for like a half second, I was like, oh, I wish I could have like gotten to actually use this basement. But then I saw the money that we were getting for it, and I was like, bye.
That's
Okay.
Hope you enjoy your
hilarious.
basement.
Yeah,
And
how
you
long
know,
did you
actually,
have that house for?
3 years,
Okay, yeah, we want
3 years and a month.
to do the same
It's
thing.
it's funny because I looked up that house about 2.5 weeks ago, and it's already been sold again.
Damn,
Dang.
really?
Yeah, for about 30 or 40,000 more than we sold it for.
So basically, it's
Oh.
like 100,000 almost than you bought it for originally. Not quite, but like almost.
Oh no, yeah, 110 more.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
insane. 110 more. Oh my god.
yeah, it gained. Yeah, it
Oh
gained.
man.
Yeah, it was 183 when we bought it, and I think it just sold for like at least 275 because we sold it for
Dang.
245. So I can yeah, whoever that was that moved in and like sat there for a year and a half or whatever it was, they just got in and left. They're like, all right,
That's
market's
insane.
skyrocketing.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
sold at the tippy top too, so that's perfect.
Didn't you say
yeah,
that's what like the guy before you moved in did? Like wasn't it
yeah.
just like
That's
him and he was there for a short time and like got the fuck out?
It's just
yeah.
one
It's just
long
a
line
cycle.
of people
Yeah,
trying to rip off the next person in line, essentially.
yeah.
That's what
It
housing
is.
is. That's why no one can afford to get into it anymore. Like, it's gotten to the point where like you can't rip someone off anymore. Like they don't have the option to be ripped off.
Well, it's so crazy because like when the market's is hot, everyone just bypasses everything that would let them know why it's not a good house. Like everyone just says, "All right, I'll give you 30 over asking and no inspections, and we can close in like 4 days."
Damn, that's insane. You have no idea what's happening to this house. Like,
Yeah, and they're just like, we don't care because there's so few houses. We don't care.
it could be made of paper mache underneath the drywall, and like, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what's happening, man. The housing market, adults.
Yeah.
God, what a world.
Yeah, what a world.
Okay. So, I got an interesting topic to talk about today, or at least introductory topic, because I was scouring the bowels of YouTube, and this video came up basically about something called the back rooms. And I don't know, I think I like asked you guys before if you ever heard of this, but
Yeah, you're gonna have to
uh,
explain this.
yeah, so the back rooms is basically like this place. It originated, I think, on Reddit or 4. Oh no, I think it was on 4chan. Like, so it's been around for a while.
So it's a terrible thing. I already know.
Yeah, right. Yep. And it's basically this like really terrible place where like the walls are yellow and there's like fluorescent school lights that are really badly lit and like this nasty yellow carpet. We're gonna put up a picture of it on the screen, and I'm actually gonna show you guys a picture of it right now. But this is what the back rooms look like. So basically, it's supposed to be like a place that you never ever want to be.
Okay.
I believe that this was the original picture that was posted, and basically, it's supposed to be a place where, like, if you do what's called no clipping, like in reality, for those of you who don't game, no clipping is basically like when you walk through a wall or like fall through the floor or something like that. But basically, like this is supposed to be the place you go when you do that in real life. And there's
Dude,
no escaping this place, and there's also creatures here, so you don't want to make any noise because if you do, they'll come for you. So here's a picture of like one of the creatures supposedly.
yeah, I've totally worked here before.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You used
Can you
to work in the back rooms?
Yeah,
You're like,
I've worked in
"Welcome
a
to
building that
Wel-"
looked just like this.
Oh my god.
You're
I
like,
can't
welcome to
imagine.
back rooms. How may I take your order?
Something about this place, I watched a video from someone explaining that their thought process behind why people don't like this, like why this is just like an uncomfortable place to look at or to imagine yourself. And for me personally, something about having rooms that are lit by like fluorescent lights and then the other rooms for some inexplicable reason are just not lit at all. Like, what is going on? Why does this place exist? Like, this is the most this is legit, and I don't get weirded out by stuff very easily because usually I love this kind of stuff, but this is one of the most unsettling pictures I've ever seen.
It's just a room. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
am
what's so
not
crazy.
unsettled in even the
And like,
slightest bit.
not even a little bit.
Like, I can go in one of these rooms and take a nap easily.
Okay, so what if you knew this was basically a labyrinth and it went on forever and like you were just trapped here for the rest of your life?
Okay, then I guess it would be terrifying. But like honestly, to me, it looks
That's
like
what I imagine when I
somewhere
look at this.
familiar. Like what Gouda said. Like it looks like honestly a job site I've been to. Like the door is probably just like right off the camera right there.
Wait, you worked at a place that had no windows and no doors? Like what?
Yeah, I've worked in places for sure that looked extremely similar to this. Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's just like any basement floor of like a big building, for sure that's what this looks like.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
so-
is.
Bad.
It doesn't necessarily like make me feel good, but I'm not sure if
Right.
I'm disturbed.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If it kept on going forever, then I'd be like, oh.
And I'm
damn.
sorry, that
So I
creature,
fucked up.
I think I can take that thing in a fight. Like, I'm thicker
There,
than that.
there's no way.
Like, look at that thing. Like, I can break it in half with like just one karate chop. It's made of like twigs.
Oh my god. No,
Maybe it's like a
the
snake. Maybe it
yeah,
like
the point of it isn't the size. The point of it is not knowing what it is and what it's capable of.
What's it
Like
capable of?
you can't imagine this place as having like the same rules as like our actual lives. This is basically like just a parallel dimension where like you have no idea what's lurking there.
The horror dimension? Why would whoever created our universe create such a place?
Wait, why? Maybe it just exists.
It just exists. It's just part of the
Like
universe.
yeah, like as a like spin-off, like just maybe it's just like a place that happened because our universe happened.
And
Like
it
it's
just
just
so
like
happened to look like a 20th century office basement.
yeah,
like that's crazy because like basements didn't look like this 200
this
years
is crazy.
ago, and they're
Well,
not
yeah,
gonna look
they
like
probably
this
didn't even
100
have
years
office
from now.
basements. Sure, right. Yeah. I think well that's a good point. Like I only think this can be unsettling in like the context of people who were born at a time where they could obviously experience like a room like this. Or for my example, like I've never been in a room that looks anything like this, but I can definitely imagine rooms I've been in that look somewhat close to them, and immediately I don't ever want to go to those places again.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I mean,
Like what psychopath lights a room this way?
yeah, the lighting is terrible. Like, you
What
need to
is
get those
this?
fluorescent bulbs and like put some like normal white lights in there, and then also,
I just don't understand. Like it doesn't go anywhere. You just walk forever.
so there's just like somehow an article on this.
Oh, dude, there's whole this has its own wiki. Like there's whole like lore. There's lore around this. This is actually also a game on Steam, apparently.
That's funny.
Which I don't want any part of.
Yeah, it's just like Slender Man. That's what it reminds me of. It's like someone
Yeah,
just made it
yeah.
up, and it's like interesting enough where people can just like run with it.
So it's funny that you mentioned Slender Man because I watched a video of the guy explaining why people don't like find this room uh, terrifying and like why they don't like it. And that was one of the comparisons that like it looks familiar enough to like you to make you feel like you recognize what it is, but also slightly unsettling because something's not quite right. Like, and that's what is wrong with Slenderman. Like, he's a normal humanoid person, but like he's way too fucking long.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
he,
too long.
he's just too long. Like, yeah, if Slenderman was a normal size and skinny, like no one would fear him.
Yeah, I'd be
But it's
like,
the
all
fact
right.
that his limbs are just fucking like what is he doing? Like he's just fucking if you can wrap yourself twice with your own arms, there's something wrong with
Yeah, for sure. He
you.
had
Yeah.
COVID. That's what
Yeah, he got COVID.
it was.
the long COVID.
Yeah. But for those of you who, I guess I'm just a psycho, like maybe, or no, I'm convinced that Valero's a psychopath. If you don't find, if you could just be in this room and you're just like fine, like for all of you who look at this, I would love to hear if you think that this is an unsettling place.
I'd be
And if
like,
not, then I hope that if anyone ever has to go here, it's you.
is this office for rent still? Like, how much are they charging for it? I would rent it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, so the other part of this that was supposed to like make it like somewhat more unsettling was like obviously they said that the carpet is moist.
Oh
And
my
also
god.
like the entire time you're there, all you hear is that slight buzzing of the fluorescent lights, like at all times. That just that the entire time.
That
Like
was a great sound effect.
that makes me nuts.
Yeah, I mean that would be terrible, but yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I can see
that
it.
for the rest of your life. All right. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I'd like to rent a room here. This is
Yeah.
great.
How much? Yeah, excuse me, sir. Sir. And it's like
He's
the
like,
monster.
is this on the housing market? This looks great.
Yeah, I'll take one of these. He just like eats my face immediately.
What a world.
Oh
All right.
man.
Well, I honestly thought that was way more unsettling than you all did. But maybe again, like you you all said that you worked in a place that looked similar to this. That's also crazy.
No, man. You know what's really unsettling? Biden's face after he recovered from COVID. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Something's wrong. That's what's unsettling. That's what makes me not sleep at night. Like, oh god, why does his eyes look like that? His eyes. Yeah, I tried looking it up. Like, there's not a ton in Biden recently. That's what you typed into Google.
Yeah, why not?
Biden recently. Like, this is just pictures of him. Like,
yeah, I mean, how else do you expect? I don't have like an event that he was at.
you said this guy typed in Google image search Biden recently. Like,
you don't do that?
no, like that means like if they posted a story about him back in like 2020. And they said, this is Biden recently at the annual dinner. Then, like, that's what's going to come up.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I didn't know how recent you needed. I mean,
he's been the
president for 2 years.
Today was the first day he tested negative. Oh, is that a picture? No, that's not it. The one in the bottom right corner? That's kind of what it looks like.
Is this it?
No.
This was posted a year ago. So
yeah, that's what he always looks like.
That's what he always looks like. Yeah, no, hold on. Maybe I can find a picture. But yeah, like, he wore sunglasses in his speech today the whole time. He never took it off, which isn't, like, completely, like, unheard of. Like, that's happened before, but when I did see, like, a video of him before...
Wait, so why is his face unsettling?
Dude, I need to show you, like, I wish you guys have seen this. Like, you guys don't watch the news. Like, okay, first off...
I really don't.
Look at this thumbnail. Like, there's something wrong with the guy's eye. Like, can I show this to you? Like, where did Fox News get this thumbnail? Because, like, I click on the video, and at no point do they show him without his sunglasses.
Just share your screen, and we'll put that up too. I suppose we'll just take a screenshot of it and put it up.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
You have to pay to... Okay. Here we go. Like, I wish you could see it. Like, hold on. Maybe I could, like, zoom in. Here we go.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Alright. Like, it looks like he's squinting, but, like, that's just, like, his normal face. Like, oh, man, you need to see, like, a live video of it moving.
I mean, he's just old as fuck.
Yeah.
But that happened in a day. Like, before he tested positive for COVID, he did not look like that. And now, his eyes don't open? Like, what happened?
I mean, he's also outside giving a speech in the sun. Like, he could just be perma-squinting because the sun's in his eyes.
Actually, okay, you guys just don't see this guy enough. You're like, yeah, he looks about normal. Like, this is actually... I'm pretty sure...
I mean, he looks like an old man. Like, not really...
No.
Like, I wouldn't expect him to look like 100% after having COVID.
His eyes and forehead are not right. They're not the same as literally, like, 3 days ago.
What do you mean by not the same?
Oh my god. I wish I could show it, like...
Maybe he's just old. Maybe it's just like a symptoms of, like, COVID. Maybe he has some complications.
Yeah, that could be it. Hold on, where's another video? Not these... This is like a terrible quality video here. Let's just type this in. Okay, yeah, like, look at that! Like, look at that thumbnail! Like, where are they getting these thumbnails? That is not normal. Like, do you see that? Like,
I mean, it's a bad, like, freeze frame.
Okay, you guys, it's useless with you guys. You guys don't watch the news, so you never see his face. Like, literally, I've been watching this guy at least, like, once a week on the news. Like,
well, I'm asking you what's not normal about it, and even if you're right, and you're saying like it's not like it used to be, like why is his face being different such an issue?
Because
useless. Like you need us to say he looks fucked up.
Anytime your face looks like that much different after getting COVID, you're like, how are you gonna spend 2 more years as the president and then try and run in 2024? Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like. COVID made his eyes close, like quite literally. His eyes do not open anymore. Like, hold on. Oh my god.
His eyes look more open in the clip that you say is fucked up to me.
That's because he's trying to open them really hard.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we
Wow.
go. Here's a nice HD video of him. Okay, perfect. Do you see my screen? This is Biden just normal. Like, doesn't that look a
Okay.
little
I
bit
don't
different?
think that's not normal. He's on a talk show. He's had makeup. The lighting is way different. That's not what he actually looks like.
This is
I mean,
this is
I've
how I
seen.
normally like see him.
Okay,
Like,
so I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him give speeches, and this is yeah. The only difference that I can tell from the video you're saying is fucked up, and this one, or from any other times I've seen him, is yeah, he looked like he was just trying to keep his eyes open. But I don't understand why
look
you're
at
saying that's
this.
such a large issue. Like why why is that such a
And then
problem?
look at this. Doesn't he look so different than what I was just showing you? Like, look
Yeah,
at
because
that.
he doesn't have studio makeup on, and they have shitty lighting on him.
How does
And
he
he
not
just
have
had
studio
COVID.
makeup and he's at the White House in the press conference area?
I don't understand why this is what about this is freaking you out?
That's crazy. All right, I guess it's just me. Though I will say my wife said something immediately too. Like, we saw him, we both didn't even say anything. We just looked at each other like, "What the fuck was that? Like, what did we just look at?" And like, they just showed it like real quick on the news, like real quick.
Okay, I'm not even like I am agreeing with you that he looks different. I guess I'm saying now that we all let's just assume we agree on that. Like
Yeah.
what problem does that present?
He's gonna be dead before he runs again. That's the problem.
Dude, people have been saying that about him since he started. Like he announced that he was running for president. Like that was always a concern in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. He's old as all hell. Like,
And now he got COVID and his eyes don't open. That likelihood just like tripled, and it was already high. So like at this point, it's pretty
yeah.
much guaranteed.
Yeah, well, if it happens, it happens. I mean,
It's gonna happen. We're gonna get the first woman president within the next 2 years. I'm calling it. And then after that, we're gonna get, I don't know, someone really crazy. It's either gonna be Trump or someone as crazy as Bernie Sanders. But we'll see.
I don't
Those
think
are my predictions.
can Trump. Well, he doesn't look as sick the same way you're saying Biden does. So like
it's
he
it's
might
because
he might
it's
hold
because of
on.
his weight.
He doesn't look as
Oh,
what?
sick.
Oh, as sick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of his weight. Old people especially always look far younger and more healthy when they're overweight.
Yeah,
So,
the fatness just keeps their skin nice and like taut.
yeah.
It's like, wow,
You
you
look
barely
more-
have any wrinkles.
Yeah, you look worse thin the older you get. It's actually
Okay.
crazy.
That makes sense though. Yeah,
Yeah.
all that fat underneath just making it so taut.
Yeah. It looks like the skin is smooth, but it's not.
Why was the camera
It's just
so
resting
zoomed
on a
in?
bed of fat.
Yeah, I just now realized the camera changes zooms at different times. Like, is it like slowly zooming in on him like the entire time? That would be kind of creepy.
A lot of videos do that. Like it's a thing that I don't know, they taught YouTubers how to do. It's like this is what makes your video visually interesting. And now that you'll probably never not notice it, so I'm really sorry because
I'm just like skipping through the video. The whole video is just a one take of him on the podium, but yet, like, as I skip through, the camera is like further away at different spots. It's weird. Almost as weird as his body double, but hey, we won't go there.
do you think he actually well, is that a thing? Do they have body doubles for the president like just to make it harder? Cuz I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
Because our president is in a coma from COVID right now, and this guy
Oh
had
my
to get
God.
like fake eyebrows put on so he can pass off as white.
That was kind of weird just there. Well, yeah, like if you go back like 3 seconds, but maybe he was trying to read the teleprompter or something.
Like
Yeah,
his
he's
eye,
definitely reading.
his
he's definitely
eyes
reading
were
off the
definitely
telephone.
yeah. They like quick zoomed out. They're like, oh, they're gonna look at his eyes. Yeah, his eyes never looked like that. Like, I wish I could zoom in on this part. Like, this is not normal. Like, it looks like his head is gonna explode. Like, that's what it looks like. It looks like he's holding in like a huge head blast.
What?
A head blast. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen, but like,
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's struggling. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
like,
he's old.
he looks like he has a headache that's like so bad, which may be like COVID does give you headaches. Like, that's honestly what it looks like. It looks like he has the worst headache of a lifetime.
Wait, do you
Just
have this in
suffer
slow
through it.
motion?
No. No, there's no speed differences.
There's no way this isn't in slow motion.
No, it says playback speed normal.
he seems to be talking normally.
Oh. Oh man, he's done. It's over. Yeah, that COVID took the last
they
5
probably
years
should have
away
given
from his
him
life.
like another week. Like he didn't need to do this.
yeah, they should have given him another week. He needs as much time off as possible if he wants to live.
But I mean, when was the last time a president died in office? Naturally.
I think it was like FDR in the 30s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's when...
I don't know.
And that's when, Harriet Truman took over and then dropped the nuke.
Oh,
like
that's
literally within a year of taking office, because he was that would be like, if Kamala Harris like finally got power and she's like good, and she just like dropped a nuke on someone. Like that's insane. Like you weren't even voted as president, but this guy dropped the only nukes ever used in war. Like that's a little, I don't know. It seems a bit overreaching.
Yeah,
so hopefully nothing like that happens.
So you think if you're not voted the president, you should just like not use the majority of your military power? You should be like, nah, I'm gonna wait because it doesn't feel right.
Nukes especially, yes. Like that has such like humanitarian destruction. It's like unnecessary destruction. Like
that's a whole different reason to not use a nuke. But like
it's like world-ending destruction, and like he didn't even get voted in.
I don't think that like the vote-in thing that should matter, because like when you're voting for a president, you're also voting for a vice president. It's not like you're voting for, well, maybe not and I have no idea what the voting process was when that happened, but like now especially, like you knew who the vice president was going to be if this person died. Especially like you're talking about Biden, like anyone who's voting for Biden, you should automatically be thinking, when he dies, who's taking over? Like anyone over the age of 70, you should be thinking that.
But no one didn't vote for Biden because they didn't like Kamala Harris. Like I highly doubt there's like almost anyone who did that. Like either you vote for him because you don't like Trump, or you don't. Like I've never heard of someone being like, you know what, I was gonna vote for this person, but I found out this is going to be their vice president, so now I'm going to vote for the complete other side. Like, that never happens.
Oh, that happened with Sarah Palin.
Yeah, definitely.
Sarah Palin. Who was she running for president, or was she was going to be vice president?
She was vice. And she's from
who?
From Alaska.
For McCain?
For
McCain.
Romney. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was for Romney for some reason.
No, yeah, it was.
It was McCain. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That's right. Wait, so people didn't vote for McCain because of Sarah Palin, you think?
I mean,
yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think he had like, I think people were saying that it would be kind of close, and then he brought her on, and then his whole shit got torpedoed.
Yeah.
I thought
because she literally didn't look like she knew what she was doing, and again, the elderly factor definitely like weighed into it, because people were already talking about how McCain was on his last legs when he was talking about like potentially throwing his hat in the ring. So,
and he was on his last legs, so it's a good thing.
Yeah. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, and those people did exactly what I was saying. Like, they looked at their vote for president as also a vote for vice president, and because they couldn't justify Sarah Palin, they were like, nah, I'm not doing it, man.
I mean, if it happened then, but it doesn't really, it didn't work this time. That's for sure. It's the same thing. Like Kamala Harris, like, what does she know about foreign policy? She doesn't know shit. She's like, girl, like, she's like cool to hang around with, but like. Yeah, she was like a prosecutor. She's like good at like crime, like domestically. But like, I mean, at least personally, I would never want her to be my president. Not that I have anything against like her as a person or her abilities as a woman or anything like that, but just her in particular. Like, I don't see what on her past would ever entrust me with her dealing with like Russia and like other like Saudi Arabia, like. I just feel like, no, I don't want that. Like, I want someone who is like, at least I've heard like talk about that kind of stuff in the past to be able to deal with that. Not someone who literally has never even thought about that before and be like, you know what, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and be president just because I'm vice president. I mean, same with Mike Pence. Like, again, another person I would never. In fact, I don't know if I can think of any vice president in my entire lifetime, except for maybe Al Gore, that I would trust running our country. Like, no one.
It's not gonna matter if he dies because that's the system. So your trust is not gonna matter because she's gonna take over. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't drop nukes.
I
mean, that wouldn't happen. She would never.
Cheney could do it, but he'd be ruthless as fuck. Like, he'd be like Truman.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. Yeah, he'd be like Trump, but worse. Like, it's like Trump's like somehow of a likable person, like in like social situations, but Cheney, he's just hateable all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there is never a time where you want to be around him. Oh man. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's gonna get any quieter in this country the next election. That's for sure.
Yeah, like how you said.
I'm just gonna leave.
I mean, it wouldn't be that far for you to get out of here.
No, not at all.
Yeah, how far are you from the border?
Oh, I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
What's your address? Say it on air right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is 428. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I feel
Don't
like
look up 428.
maybe we'd have an easier escape, like
yeah,
going on the lake.
That's true. And we're also connected to Upper Michigan. And that has a direct access point to Canada.
True. Yeah, just let us in, Canada.
Canada. Yeah, how did we as Wisconsinites, how the hell did we let Michigan get Upper Michigan? That's our fucking state. Like, you can't just take our state and be like, yeah, this is Upper Michigan. Like, no, it's not. Like, have you seen a map? Like, that is Wisconsin. Straight up.
I don't know. We should look up the history on it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but apparently we're just a bunch of pussies over here. Like,
I think it's the same. Isn't that the same reason it's like called Lake Michigan, not Lake Wisconsin?
You know what? I feel like I'm more okay with that because at least we share a border. Like, they get half the lake, we get half the lake, and somehow they get the name. Maybe they found it first, and maybe that's how they got Upper Michigan. But if they got Upper Michigan, why didn't they just take the rest of the clear, like, literally, like, if you don't know what Wisconsin looks like on a map, it's, like, almost surrounded by all sides of water. Like, we have the Mississippi River on the west side, we have Superior on the north side completely, we have Michigan on the east side, and then the only side that's actually, like, landlocked with another state is Illinois, and that's, like, the bottom. So, like, how, Upper Michigan, it's in the island. It's, like, within the lakes, and, like, it's connecting to the rest of Wisconsin. It's all, like, within the same, like, body, like, landmass. I don't even get it. I'm ashamed already. I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I wonder, what was Wisconsin before it was Wisconsin? Maybe it was Michigan. Or something else. I don't know. I don't know enough history to tell you.
I did look up how far it was, and I'm 4 hours from
Dude, that's nothing.
border.
Okay, you're closer than us. I think I've looked it up before. It was like a 9-hour drive or something, or like 8.
Wait, you thought you were closer than I am?
I mean, maybe. I don't know what the top of Minnesota looks like.
I was saying I feel like it would be easier to get there by water.
Yeah, that could be.
If you're trying to sneak in.
Yeah, I'm way further north than you guys are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So, there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about in the crazy world of litigation. And, it was about a woman who apparently sued a man for $10,000 because she had a bad date with him. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about specifically like how like in the legal world they have to basically litigate every case as if it's extremely important. Like I don't know why they do this, but like basically anyone can bring any frivolous lawsuit at any point if like you file the paperwork, and they have to just take it seriously. So like there are people who, and like for example, I'll get to this later, but there are people who have basically had like a life of just filing court cases. Like there's apparently one guy out there somewhere who's got like thousands of cases, and they're all against crazy people like that he's never met before, like Kanye West and Nicki Minaj, and like he'll like sue a whole state. And apparently he just did this from like a jail cell, like when he was in prison. So like they're just like outstanding cases apparently.
Wow. From a jail cell while he was in prison.
I that's what I heard from the story. If you get a chance, you can look up like most litigious man in the United States, and I think he'll eventually pop up. I don't know his name, but anyway, that just made me think about that because like unless I haven't told you exactly about the date yet, and eventually we'll watch a video on it. You'll see how she was acting in front of the judge because it was pretty crazy. But um, basically, in my mind, unless like you were assaulted on a date or like put in a position where like you basically had an understanding with the date that they were going to pay, and then you just had to pay for absolutely everything and it was a crazy amount of money you didn't have, I just can't understand how you can bring yourself to sue another person for like just the date going poorly.
I heard a couple things about this already. I've heard
Yeah.
that she was trying to say that like it was a waste of her time, and like the money she could have been making is like part of like the damages she's seeking. Like
So actually she's sued for like intentional emotional distress, specifically because not because the date was bad, but because he didn't show up. So like
yes, that's what it
they
was.
had yeah, they had a date, and they set up like I guess a second date, and I guess he no showed, and she said it caused this distress because the date fell on the same day of like her late mother passing.
This is
So
insane. This is why
so
she's
like
single.
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
exactly why she's single. Like
Yeah, I mean, I I I don't know, and it's so crazy because like there was a video of her in court, like they're on a Zoom call, and the first thing the judge does is ask the guy like, you know, how do you want to like proceed, and he says on the Zoom call, he's like, to be honest, Your Honor, I thought this was gonna be thrown out. Like, I'm being sued for a bad date for $10,000. And he literally said that word for word. He was like, I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like this is the waste of the court's time. And the judge said, he was like, the judge said, you have to file a motion to dismiss if you think it's, not a relevant case with, the relevant evidence. And I guess he didn't know that he could just say out loud, like, hey, I'd like to file a motion to dismiss, because at no point did he actually say that.
he doesn't have a
So,
lawyer or anything.
no, I think he represented himself because, again, I think he assumed that this was so
Right.
unbelievably stupid that no judge would allow it to happen. But not only did the judge allow it, he argued with the lady for like 10 minutes, it looked like on the video, about why they were doing it in that court, because apparently he said that because of the way like the court was set up, it wasn't like a case for his court. He said he had to go to like circuit court or whatever. So he argued with her about all of that for a while, and then he ended up transferring the case to circuit court for her. So, like, I'm so confused. If he could do that, why wouldn't he just dismiss the case for him? Like, he could have just said out loud, like, hey, like, you have to say, I want to file a motion to dismiss. I know you don't know that, but you should be doing that. This is fucking stupid.
Like as a judge, like you could just be saving yourself time. Like, hey, I don't really feel like
Well,
wasting my time with this. Do you want to dismiss
yes.
this? You have to file a motion if you
Yeah,
do.
so
That's
that's
all
the
you have to
other
say.
part. Yeah, that's the other part of this, and I actually talked to Danielle about this, and she thinks the judge was trying to get out of the way, like, because remember, I told you there are people who just have a history of litigation. She has 90 cases with this same county, so
Yeah.
she's been doing this a long time. So I think at least Danielle's thought was he didn't want to be caught in the crossfire. He didn't want it to be his problem, so he just tried to get out of it as quickly as possible.
That sounds exactly right, probably. Yeah, if she's like a well-known person amongst the court system, yeah,
Right.
that sounds exactly what happened.
Yeah, so apparently she also was trying to add like perjury like as a charge for him because she was saying something about him not telling the truth about his side of the story on like a court appointed document that they had to like basically fill out what they thought. And the judge was trying to explain to her that that's not perjury. Like he was basically like he isn't like he was like I don't think you understand what perjury means. And immediately she got belligerent. Like
Yeah.
extremely like she was like don't test my intelligence. She said that like numerous times. It was like basically telling the judge sit the fuck down. Like she was like don't test my intelligence and act like I don't know what perjury means. I know what perjury means. And he's like what is perjury? And she's like perjury is a lie. He's like you don't know what perjury is. Immediately.
He's like, you don't
So
know what it means.
yeah. So like specifically perjury is a lie under oath. And he wasn't under oath at any point, so that's why he was trying to explain to her it's not perjury. And she just didn't care. She was just like, no, do not insult my intelligence. Do not insult my intelligence. Do not insult my intelligence. Are we? And then she was like, are we done here? Are we done here? Like over and over and over.
Oh
And
my
the judge
god.
just like let it happen. And like I was thinking to myself, in a normal courtroom, like don't they just hold you in contempt? Like don't they make
Right.
you pay?
Yeah.
Like why is he dealing with this? And he
That's
just let her
insane.
go on and on and on. Like it was nuts. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, I just feel like the legal system, if we're gotten to a point where we're letting people like if you get over 50 cases over a certain amount of time that you're going through in one court system, they should just bar you from fucking like
Yeah.
getting any more until you dwindle down the ones that are most important. Like you should have a max of 50. If you can't figure out which ones can be dropped if you've got 50, there's no fucking way. Like you have to be a fraud.
Yeah, that's a troll. Like you are a
Yeah.
leech on society. You are providing no service. You're just trying to like yeah, you're trying to take advantage of the system essentially. Like yeah, they should do something about that.
And if what's crazy is, I was gonna say, like, with all the time she's probably spent filling out court documents, she could probably have just been a lawyer. But this stupid fuck doesn't know what perjury is. So apparently, it hasn't helped her at all.
She
Like,
doesn't even know
it's
what
just
perjury
it's just a complete waste of time both ways. Like, she's wasted their time and her own time, and she doesn't seem to care. She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna litigate absolutely everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's why she's single. And because she's single, she'll always have the time to do this, so.
Yeah, man, she's gonna be writing. Dude, you realize if she hears this, we're next.
Yeah, you are. I guarantee you that is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 1,000%. She doesn't. She does not care. Like, what's so crazy is she sued her for $10,000. Like, how does she even know he has 10,000? Like, what if he doesn't
Right.
have it? You've done this for absolutely nothing, even if you win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I
What
don't
a
even know what
world.
to say. That's yeah. Something needs to be done about that. Some laws need to change. Like I feel like suing someone should eventually be a privilege, like not a right. Like, and you can lose that right essentially, like because so many people have taken advantage of it. It's definitely not the first time I've heard someone like this.
Do you think that people who are on death row get too many appeals, or do you
I've
think the
never
fact that
heard of
the
like
oh
I've
really?
I've never heard of like someone getting tired of getting death row appeals from like a certain inmate or something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, just like as a general rule, do you feel like there should be a limitation on the amount of times an inmate? Because like apparently you can completely exhaust your appeals at a certain point on death row. So like I'm wondering, should we like is that normal? Like if we can, the reason I was bringing that up is because I'm thinking like comparing to this lady, if we can limit appeals, why can't we limit her court cases? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's
obviously
true.
limits aren't completely out of the question. And like I would think the price that you're paying because of the litigation should also weigh into whether you get a lot of them or not. So like obviously if it's your life, I understand why there'd be a very like elaborate appeal process. But like you being on a bad date, like they should immediately squash that. Like the
Yeah.
moment you walk in the door, you're just like, I'd like to, and they just turn you away. Like, no.
Like that, the gecko STD thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's
I
so
don't
many
know.
where it's like, who is giving this the time of day? Like, we have to, so like, tax money has to pay a judge, a bailiff, a court reporter, and who knows how many other staff.
Yeah, the
Like, all that
stenographer.
time to waste, like, to talk about what this girl is owed because she had a bad date. It's like, this is such a waste of time. Meanwhile, people are just like waiting in jail because they got arrested for the wrong thing. And like, all they have to do is just show up to court and it will be immediately straightened out. But like, you can't do that because the court's so backed up. Or even worse, the court's so backed up, so they just let people who did do crimes just go. There's like, that wasn't so bad, just get out of here. Like, but we're spending time on this, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, how much did you steal? 17 million? That's under the $20 million threshold. You should look. Don't do it again,
Yeah,
okay? Just
you feel
promise.
bad, right?
Promise.
Yeah,
Don't do it again.
You've learned your lesson, right? Okay,
Yeah.
we trust you.
Yeah, you can give consequences to yourself, right?
That's hilarious. At the end, I watched Miss Marvel on Disney Plus. At the very end, like, of her doing all her like Miss Marvel shenanigans, like she lives with her parents during the whole show. At the very end, like the mom's like, okay, like they go through this like whole arc of like trusting each other, and then the mom's like, okay, so like we trust you now, right? And she's like, yeah, and like everything was just great. But I'm just thinking, like, what? Like after all the things she just went through the whole season, like we trust her, like that she's gonna like for sure stay at home and just do her homework and not like get into any trouble. Like, no fucking way, dude. Like, yeah, there's no fucking way. Yeah, basically that same thing. Like, we're like Kamala Khan's mom. We just trust everyone. We trust you, right? All right, you can go.
If I was a judge, I'd sentence her straight to the back rooms
Yeah, there
for the
you
rest
go.
of your life. Dude, that would be a crazy jail cell. Holy fuck.
That
Just
wouldn't be
a
so
room
bad. It has like carpeting,
with a
although it's
full
moist.
Yeah, it's a moist carpet. You're just sitting on a damp carpet the entire time.
Oh man, yeah, I guess that's not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there should be a consistent drip from the ceiling. That's just right on your forehead.
yeah, that would make it so much worse. A consistent drip, or
Yeah.
even an inconsistent drip. Oh man.
Oh no. Drip drip. Drippity drip drip.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be maddening.
Yeah, take away the court bullshit and add in the back rooms as a punishment, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, that is how we solve Joe Biden's eye problems.
Yeah,
Just sit him in the back room.
send him to the back.
Yeah.
He'll open his eyes then.
Yeah, just have him talk to. His eyes will squint right back up to normal. They'll be so closed.
Yeah, his blood circulation will be like, it'll be perfect. He'll feel 20 years younger.
Well, all right, perfect. We've just fixed the economy and the court system in an hour.
Send the Pulitzer Prize.
And we're gonna do it again next week.
Yeah, we're great at this.
This is it. Just part of my job. Don't think.
Yeah, just what I do on a Tuesday.
No need to think, ma'am. Just doing my job.
Well, I will thank you guys for another great episode, and for all of you listening, appreciate you shooting the shit with us. I guess until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.